Okay, the Taycan didn't charge, so we can't use the Taycan. Current favourite flavour of Monster this is. To be honest, I've always drank like, well, I've never drank this one really. I always go for like the ultras, but I suppose this isn't even an ultra. But it's some good shit. Creds to Cam for putting me on that one. SVR time today because the Taycan just died. Well, it's on like 20 miles, which I just don't fancy because I can't really give it some when it's not charged. So SVR time for the gym today. I'm gonna hit up Gym Unity Lichfield today, gonna go and train some legs. I'm actually gonna do a barbell squat, which for the longest time has not been something that's been involved in my leg training period, because I just haven't felt motivated to get stuck into like heavy compound lifting. I think because it was like literally the entire focus of my training for the last however many years. I've kind of had enough of it now, and I just don't really fancy getting under heavy weight. But that's not really the mindset of like a true man, so I'm gonna start getting back under some heavy weights. Those of you that know, or those of you that have followed the channel or me personally for a while, will know that squat, bench and deadlift were at the forefront of my life goals for a long time, and squat especially was like my forte, if you like. I mean, I squatted 300 kilos for reps at 18 years old. I broke all-time world records at 19 years old, all at like 82 kilo. So I've definitely got the know-how in terms of technique and things like that to where I should be able to squat something pretty tidy for the rest of my life. But I just simply haven't been under a bar in genuinely like over 18 months, ever since I tore my lat. So that's a long time to go from squatting every day to literally not squatting, period. So I'm expecting it to be a little difficult, to be honest, and I'm not expecting me to get all that much of a good squat today, but I'm going to give it a go. This SVR really has surprised me. I genuinely really enjoy driving it, and it sounds wicked. A lot of people want to race you when you're in the SVR. No one wants to race me in the Taycan, no one wants to race me in the Urus, no one wants to race me in the R8, no one wants to race me ever. But then in the SVR, people just want to race. It's like the RS7, people want to race the RS7. So I don't know why, because it's one of the fastest ones, but people just want to race those kind of cars. For a big car, it's got a good launch as well. A lot of people strive to achieve this like downtime, and they strive to go and get an hour free to watch Netflix or to go to the pub for a drink. For me, just driving to the gym in a car is good fun. Chuck the SVR Urban into sport. That for me is enough.
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, no worries. Gym sessions these days genuinely don't see more than 20 to 40 minutes of my day. I find it really difficult to justify much more than that, especially with how I've been currently training. I think if I was to start including compound lifts, it would obviously be a little bit longer. But I just don't have the time to commit like I used to. I used to drive 45 minutes to the gym, train for like 5 hours, drive 45 minutes back from Birmingham. And I've genuinely spent like at least 6 hours of my day on the gym. And right now I just don't have the time to justify to do that, which is a shame, because I look back on those times and think that, you know, I really enjoyed them, but I wouldn't change it for the world. You know, where I'm at in life is something that's testimony to my efforts at the desk. With that said, I should be able to still squat some pretty good numbers. So just pulling up to Gym Unity Lichfield. It's a Sunday afternoon, I can't see anyone being in, to be honest. So I'm gonna knock out a quick leg session, but I'm going to squat, and I'm interested to see how it goes. I don't think I'll be able to do low bar. Obviously I've not got any equipment. You know, I used to squat with squat shoes. I used to use like just the strength shoplifters. I used to use knee sleeves or wraps pretty much every time. And so for me now, going to the gym and trying to squat without a lot of that kit's going to make it quite difficult for me. But what am I scared? Give it a go, see how we get on. I think what I'm struggling with is just the weight on my spine and like how I used to be able to just blur that out and not think about it. And now it's at the forefront of my mind. I think that's the first thing. The second thing is that my knees just aren't equipped like they were. So it's going to take some time to get used to, but I definitely think that will run itself back up. I don't see why that can't be 3, 4 and 5 plates again soon enough. My lat was definitely letting me down a little bit. It wasn't able to hold the same level of stability that it once was, obviously when it was in one piece. I think the tear of the lat definitely will be one of the key things that holds my squat, bench and deadlift back, just because it doesn't give me much of a foundation. It's not got the stability that it once allowed me to have. So that's going to be a little bit of a bottleneck for progressing. But I think from this point forward, it will be leg press, potentially a hack or pendulum, isolation, cars, adductor and go. To be honest, getting back under the bar was actually more enjoyable than I thought. And I can definitely see myself spending more time under the bar again and trying to get back to where I was. And I kind of know deep down I'll never be as strong as I was, at least relative to body weight and age, and you know, it won't be as an impressive. You just love not knowing where the key is. Yeah, I don't think it will be as impressive strong as it once was, and to be honest, I'm not really shooting for that, but I'd like to get back to respectable numbers, albeit like maybe a 220 squat. That would be pretty tidy. Maybe 3 plate bench. I mean, I benched, what did I bench? 190. So 4 plates and a 5. I'll probably be able to get back to 3 plates, I'd like to think. And then potentially like, I think the deadlift is the one that will just never ever be there. Just don't really see it as realistic to have a big deadlift with a lat that isn't even reattached. You know, I haven't reattached the lat in surgery. So in theory, it's still kind of not structurally as it needs to be, which means that I don't see really ever any opportunity to have a big deadlift. But I think there's ways around it in terms of like squat and bench. So I'll give it a go. I actually feel like despite the amazing sound of the Urus and the crazy scream of the Hurricane and the R8 and whatever else, this SVR and potentially the RS7 have got the most like aggressive sound. Just meaty as fuck. Supercharged 5 litre V8. Can't really go wrong, to be honest.